It's your boy, Wild Beezy, baby. And this video is going to be anything but easy to do. This evening, today, this afternoon, whenever you happen to see this, we are going over, taking a look back, the 30-plus year career of the Phenom, the Undertaker. This is a man who's been known throughout several generations as the most magical superstar in World Wrestling Federation history, the most dynamic superstar in WWE history, the most durable superstar in professional wrestling history. There's so many great things I can say about The Undertaker, and I'm going to say them right here on my personal retrospective of The Undertaker. You know, it's just for context, because as Eric Bischoff says, context is king. I'm 30. I've been a professional wrestling fan my entire life. First time I ever seen The Undertaker, I was 4 years old in Greenfield, Indiana in 1994. I'll never forget. The first opponent I remember him seeing himself across the ring from was himself. It was in the lead up to SummerSlam 1994. I hadn't actually even seen The Undertaker yet. I was seeing Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, looking for The Undertaker because earlier that year, Yokozuna had put The Undertaker into a casket and he had the help of like 10 motherfuckers beat him down, and he went away for a while. And that year, 1994, was the first year he actually missed a WrestleMania, actually. But I thought it was intriguing. He's going to face himself even at the young age of 4. I'm like, what? And I thought it was nuts. And that was my first memory of The Undertaker. And some people don't look back fondly on the Undertaker versus Undertaker match, you know, for whatever reason, you know. But for me personally, it was a song of wonderful memories. It's a song to my heart. Anytime I see that, I'm like, oh, that's where it all began. And unfortunately, where it all began for The Undertaker is where it's all going to end for The Undertaker. We think. And that is the Survivor Series 2020, tomorrow night. Oh, man, I don't want to see it end. A lot of people, you know, he's beat down, he's tore up, he needs to go away, and I understand, you know, he's given a lot, but, you know, selfishly, I don't want it to end. You know, The Undertaker is a legacy being. He's a legacy character. He's somebody that people of all ages know about, and everybody has an opinion of The Undertaker. And it's almost all universally loved and beloved. The dead man has been doing what he's done for 30 years. He's the only person in history to go over 20 years undefeated at WrestleMania. He was the first superstar to have multiple matches inspired and created based off him and his character. You know, obviously we have the Buried Alive match We have the Hell in a Cell match, which this last month celebrated its 23-year anniversary. And who could ever forget the outlandish 2004 Last Ride? Actually, there were two of them. There were two Last Ride matches, 2004 and 2006. So that is three different matches. No, excuse me, there were four. There was also the body bag match that we've seen a couple of times. The one that I definitely think of off the top of my head is the match he had with the Ultimate Warrior sometime in, I think it was like summer of '91. It was a body bag match. The Rock, he had a show, still has a show named after one of his catchphrases, laying the smack down, smack down. It's been around for 21 years. But The Undertaker has 4 matches inspired off him. Now you tell me, who's the more inspirational superstar? People love to say The Rock is the greatest. No, fuck no. The Undertaker is the greatest superstar of all time when it comes to WWE creations. There's nobody, and I mean nobody, that will ever surpass The Undertaker as far as longevity and creativeness and the quality of matches he's had from the start of his career, going all the way back to when he was in WCW as Mean Mark Callis, all the way until this past April when he wrestled what we believe to be his final match against the phenomenal AJ Styles it was essentially a buried alive match, but it was a cinematic movie match, and it was one of the greatest things that we've ever seen as professional wrestling fans. There's nothing that will be done movie-wise for a match that will ever be better than that. It's just, for me personally, this is a very sad thing to see. Somebody who's been as great and as awesome for as long as The Undertaker has, you never want to see that end. And it's going to be an emotional evening for millions of fans tomorrow night at the Survivor Series, myself included. I've had the pleasure of seeing The Undertaker wrestle many, many times in person. I remember the first time I ever seen him wrestle in person was, it was my first ever wrestling match, actually, matter of fact, too. It was July 11th, 1999 at the Market Square Arena. It was The Undertaker and Triple H teaming up to face The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. And, at the time, and you could say that was the 4 greatest superstars of that era. It was awesome, man. And another match I'll never forget seeing him have was the King of the Ring 2002 against Triple H. That was a great one. Also got to see him face Edge in Hell in a Cell in person here in Indianapolis. That was awesome. Also seen him wrestle in the very first Punjabi prison match against the Big Show. People don't talk about it enough, but the Big Show was actually one of his better opponents. I always enjoyed their matches together. And the last time I got to see him in action in person was a little over 2 years ago. I went to Madison Square Garden with my brother. We drove 12 hours to Madison Square Garden to see The Undertaker and many other great superstars on the card. But it was awesome getting to see The Undertaker wrestle against Kevin Owens and Baron Corbin. Those are 2 of my favorite superstars of the current era, and to see him, go toe-to-toe with them in person was awesome, in a moment I'll never forget. The Undertaker is somebody that will never be surpassed as far as what he's done. Little unknown fact, there has never been a superstar more merchandised than The Undertaker. Not Hulk Hogan, not The Rock, not Stone Cold, not John Cena. You know, he has them all beat. He really does. I could go on and on about my favorite matches of The Undertaker. But really what this is about is just me saying thank you and just making a memory of this occasion of The Undertaker going away, because it's not every weekend, it's not every day, it's not even every year that you see somebody as prestigious and as known as The Undertaker step away from what he does. But if you want to know a couple favorites of mine that I enjoyed over the years, you know, obviously his feud of Randy Orton is my favorite feud of all time in WWE. That whole time in 2005, their feud was awesome. Him and Stone Cold Steve Austin had an amazing feud in 1998 and 1999. His matches with Edge were top notch. His match with CM Punk at WrestleMania is definitely my favorite WrestleMania match he ever had. His Buried Alive matches, his Hell in a Cell matches, his Inferno matches. Good Lord, his feud of Kane. You know, several good matches he had with Rey Mysterio and Jeff Hardy. Great matches he had with John Cena and Triple H. You know, him and Stone Cold were a great tag team. Him and Kane were a great tag team. You know, people have said it's the end of an era many times, but the WWE will never be the same once The Undertaker walks away. He's been through many eras, but it's all coming to an end. And if it's not coming in tomorrow night, it's damn sure going to come to an end in the next year or two. But if it all comes to an end tomorrow night, you know, The Undertaker gave us his all. He gave us his absolute everything, man. There's nobody that I ever connected with quite like The Undertaker. There's nobody, you know, the whole reason I have this long hair is because of The Undertaker. The whole reason I like purple and black, it's because of The Undertaker, man. The whole reason I like the darkness and the spooky stuff in the first place, it's because of The Undertaker, man. The Undertaker has been a big influence on me. He's been a big influence on the industry. And, man, I don't want to see him go. It's going to be really sad. I just don't. I really don't. There's never a right time to say goodbye. But this is the time. This is unfortunately the time. You were awesome, Undertaker. Thank you for an awesome, tremendous, incredible career. And in closing, there will be many great superstars after this. Wrestling will continue to be great. It's evolved greatly, especially in the last 5 to 10 years. But what The Undertaker did during his time in the industry, I'm afraid will never be duplicated on the level that he did it on. There's nobody that could have pulled off The Undertaker for as long as he did. That takes a special man to transition from basketball to a regular wrestler to being a demonic and spooky character. That takes a special kind of man and a special kind of talent. And tomorrow we say goodbye to one of the absolute legends, greatest icons, one of the greatest icons that we'll ever see in this business. The greatest, for my money. You know, other than Sting, from that time period, there's nobody that captured the imagination of fans quite like The Undertaker. This has been my goodbye. This has been my tribute. And this has been your boy, Walt Beezy Baby. My thoughts on The Undertaker.